Mawande, good afternoon. What was the march in essence all about? We know they're disgruntled, but if you had to just give us an overview, what are they saying?
Good day. Really, what they're saying is quite simple and quite clear. They're saying that, number one, they're not happy with the ANC's performance at the local government elections, and they pin that down to the regional task team that is in charge of the Moses Mabhida region. They're saying that during campaigning, they were taking people who are not members of the ANC, people who reside outside of the Moses Mabhida region, to carry out campaigning, people who don't know the situation on the ground, the needs and the demands of people within that region. And they're pinning that performance that they had down to them. They lost at least 2 wards within that area. Another thing they're complaining about, they're saying that when they look at the PR councillor candidate list, at the BGMs, what they submitted is not what was in the final list. And therefore they say that the RTT removed certain people because they are opposing the RTT, and therefore they say that they were removed as people who are opposing their leadership. So they're saying that those lists are not what they submitted. They also want their regional conference to be held where it can then give way for the RTT to be removed because they're not happy with it. They're saying, according to the ANC, it's something that's supposed to last for 6 months, but as things stand, it's been at least about 3 years since the RTT took over. Let's take a listen to what they further had to say.
There are many activists, ANC activists, there are branch leaders that are here. We have gathered here today to come and express our grievances against the current RTT, which has failed to implement the guidelines of the ANC in regards to PR list. It is very clear, it is stipulated that 10% of the PR list must not be utilized for any political intervention. But in this region of ours, the RTT used the 10% for political intervention to advance their selfish agendas, because all of them who are serving the RTT have desires to be mayors and speakers of the municipalities. So we are here to say we want the ANC, NEC to intervene, come and show us that how the branch nominated, and those who are in the 10% must be brought back onto the PR list, because we want to see leadership into municipality. That is the result of the branch candidate list process.
So very concerning, Mawande. What has been the region's response to this? Did you manage to engage them?
We were able to speak to them on the phone, and what the convener of the RTT in Moses Mabhida region said is that, number one, the members have the procedures that need to be followed to put forth grievances when you're an ANC member, and that which of marching to the regional offices is not what is stipulated within the rules of the ANC or rules of engagement. Therefore, they also say that the issue of these disgruntled members relates to a situation where, because of the poor performance at the local government elections, the number of seats that the party received declined, and therefore there are members who are on those lists who are not going to be able to enter into certain positions, and it's a result of that. It's not within their control. So they say they are unhappy because people that they had been eyeing to return to certain positions or to become councillors and so forth are not realizing that because of their poor performance, and that's something that's out of their control. They're also saying that they could have raised these issues before the local government elections, and they choose to raise them after. So for them, they are dismissing the allegations that they're making, going further on to say they need to provide proof of these allegations, and then they can deal with them accordingly. But in the absence of evidence, they don't have a leg to stand on.
Now, just in closing, Mawande, that's a bit interesting because we know that the ANC had been calling on its members before elections to say, we'll sort out the issues after. If there's a certain name or the lists were incorrect, we'll sort it after. But if you're telling me that you spoke to them and the RTT is saying that, no, they should have come before, it's a bit confusing, I would say.
That's what the members were saying, that we were told that these issues would be sorted after the elections, and it's crickets at this point. They've not yet been resolved. So really, there is some confusion in that regard when you look at what the leadership is saying now and what the members allege was said to them, particularly in the way of resolving those issues after the elections, because the focus was not meant to shift. It was meant to be fully on the local government elections and then thereafter deal with the issues at hand.
No, let's hope they find each other there for at least the citizens so that services can be delivered. They form government. Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Mawande Kheswa.